I'm itching. I'm fiending. College football 25 is right at our grips, all right at our fingertips, and I just want to play it. But right now, what I'm going to do is going to help you. I'm going to teach you the best teams to pick in Dynasty by ranking Big Ten teams. Now, Big Ten probably shouldn't be one of your first options to do it, but that's why it's important to start here. There's a lot of historic teams in the Big Ten, right? But there's also a few teams that are new, a few teams that haven't had as much notoriety, and some few teams that have had a past and a history, but they need a flame to be reignited. I will be rating them, off nice uniforms. Duh, that's going to be a heavy thing. I mean, you ain't got unis, you can't recruit. I'm going to be rating these bad boys on, of course, like I said, the history, the potential, the conference, which is the Big Ten, and just the overall fun ability, including playbook and situations and situationships. Okay, so let's get at it. Let's do it. So, I don't know what's wrong with this one, but Illinois isn't down here, but this is like the best one I could see. But no Illinois, so we're going to start with the Fighting Illini. Boom, slapping A tier, right? Out there in Illinois, clean, smooth, easy uniforms, right? I'm not hating on them. I'm not mad at them. I feel like, they haven't really had the biggest and boldest as of late. Recently, the biggest and boldest histories when it comes to success in college football world. I feel like they're not the national team. They're not the national team, not the household team. I think there's some good options here to really take someone who a team people don't really think about often, right? And can really propel them to another level in space and place. I mean, cool location. I like the blue and the orange. I like the big eye. I mean, what's wrong with the Fighting Illini? Michigan State University. I want you to know there's not going to be a lot of S tiers. I'm trying not to make a lot of S tiers, especially when the Big Ten. Look, the new uniforms are amazing. I don't know what to tell you, dog. That new little Trojan joint they got going on with the stripe and the white and the black. It's smooth. It's easy. It's crispy. I like what they did. I'm really appreciating everything they got cooking over there, and I just want to see more of it. Michigan State's had some ups and downs. They've had some appearances at the big stage in different bowl games, and so they have a deep historic past. A lot of players they've sent to the NFL. Like that, it's a big time program, but as of late, it's just been an embarrassment, an absolute embarrassment. Michigan, it's D tier. Mostly, if it wasn't for them just being dominant for these last 2 years in the Big Ten specifically, I'd probably put them at like a B tier. For as much hate, or not as much hate, but for as much as it seems like Michigan don't got them uniforms, they can drip and drown, right? They can be, saying with saying the playoff pants, the maize joints, the white joints. I mean, they can step out for real. They've got an interesting fan base. We can get into that. They got an interesting fan base. Sent plenty of people to the NFL. Lots and lots of history out there with them Wolverines. But if you win a championship, you cannot be chosen for a dynasty. Definitely not your number one team. I'll let you know that right now. You'll be bored. You'll have some defensive talent and everything else to deal with. But coming in this year, they are going to be lacking offensive talent. But it don't matter, man. We've seen y'all. Bye-bye. I don't want to, whatever. Go back to relevance for a little bit. It's how college football works. Them Hoosiers. B. I'm just not a fan of red teams, dog. I feel like red teams is kind of crazy. Everybody's red team. But upsides, Indiana, decent uniforms. I know you're about, what about 4 minutes in this video? You're starting to realize a lot of weights in the uniforms. Yes, dog, because I'm gonna recruit. I'm going to get in the transfer portal, okay? And by the way, did you like the video? Are you subscribed? Do you know that we're doing daily college football videos on this channel? Information, gameplay, everything in between. Get with it, big dog. Anyway, back to this. Yeah, the uniforms are going to be a heavy weight. I'm going to be hitting the transfer portal. I'm going to be recruiting new people. This team is just a shell. I just need a decent conference. Maybe 1 year of decent play. In a nasty set of uniforms and maybe a beautiful landscape to absolutely play some foosball on. So as far as Indiana, Caitlin Clark is out there doing what she doing, how she doing. I ain't got no business being out there. Red Hoosiers. It's just not inspiring me, dog. The pitchfork thing, the whole precise. I'm out of it. Give me an A. Check this out. Look, another quote unquote boring uniform set, but I like their blackouts. I like the Steeler block numbers. I like how smooth and crispy the black and the yellow is. I'm not mad at that. More funny-ish. Offense has been horrendous for maybe like the last decade. They've been the laughing stock of the Big Ten, especially when it comes to offense. So if you go in to trying to build this team, decent option, right? Again, it's a big house, I would say household brand. They do send people to the NFL at a decent rate. They are in competition for a little bit of that old tight end U. So I think Iowa is going to be a good team to have in Dynasty, right? But it's not going to be the top tier elite. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to have all the uniform options. Actually, now that we're talking about it, beat them boys, right? Not enough uniforms, not enough situations. It's just funny to rebuild them. What's up, Chris? Appreciate you. And if you're watching this on YouTube as the video, man, don't be afraid to check us out live too. I told you we do this live. Back to it. Them Terrapins, Maryland. Ooh, give him an A. Check this out. I love the uniforms. I know that's where we're starting every time, but let's not start with uniforms this time. How about just the cool history, the tongue of a lugga that used to go there, the Stephon Diggles that went there, like the interesting placement of old Maryland, right? They've got a little bit of a past, a little bit of a history, a rich culture out there in Maryland. They're going to be a beautifully set up situation to go ahead and be that offensive coordinator or head coach, defensive coordinator, whatever you want to do, however you start in your coaching career. In the Big Ten, they are an unsung hero. They're known as a team that just upsets and does, shot in the dark things. That's it. This isn't a top tier team. What's some cool uniforms, some cool history, some decent NFL players. Give me Maryland at A tier. Why not? Hey, man, back-to-back A. I'm smacking these A's, dog. It's not gonna be a lot in S tier. If I put you in S tier, that basically means you're in my top 8. You're in my top 5. Dem Minnesota Badgers. When I say these uniforms are probably the best in the Big Ten, I'm not going to say it twice because I already said it nice enough. Look. Minnesota's got clean uniforms. They've got a decent history. They've been bubbling. They've had years where they get some coverage, some talk about it. Maybe they got some decent bowl coverage, but they've never really broken through like a Michigan has, even like an Oregon has, even like any of these other teams to be real nationwide notoriety style things. Look, Minnesota is going to be a very, very nice, easy, smooth, cool conversation to have at your top dynasty game when you decide to go ahead and hop on it. God dang it, these Cornhuskers put them at B. I can't do it with these former blue bloods that are on the rise. You got Dylan Raiola up there, home skillet biscuit, the ex-Baylor boy, the ex-Carolina guy, head coach up there. I forgot his name. Rulius? I don't know. He can coach some college football, though. Losing to a 4-8 team last year is not great. I will tell you that. They're rebuilding on their own, so to be honest with you, you're not going to get a lot of points from me if you go rebuild these boys. Decent uniforms. I like the throwbacks. I like the blackouts. I like the situations. They've sent some decent NFL players out to the league there too. Lots and lots and lots of history from Nebraska. It's not my favorite choice, but it's not a bad choice because I've been sucking on eggs for the past decade. This is just part 1. All right, we're gonna roll into part 2 in just a brief second, man. Part 1 of Big Ten. Wait. You know what? Nah, forget all that part 1, part 2 stuff. I'm thinking about it. We only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. Let's crank these out and really give them what they want. Northwestern. Interesting situations that have been going on right there. I feel like legally I can't really talk about what they got going on. They win that lawsuit about they can just pay their play. Weren't they the reason? Isn't it? I don't know. I'm confused. They're purple. The goth uniforms are fire. They didn't have a lawsuit. I don't know. It looks like a sideways Z. I don't know. Your state. Just been the most underachieving team of the last decade. I don't know what else to tell you about Ohio State. If you choose them, you're silly. They've got the most talented team in the nation right now, and I guess you could swap them out. And again, Shell, cool uniforms, decent swip outs, decent swip outs. What's a swip out? Decent switch outs, decent things that you can do here, there, and everywhere. So from a dynasty standpoint, it's not awful when you look at it, but just the fact that it's Ohio State, we've been looking at it. We're gonna see them probably in the playoffs. Who cares, dog? Let's keep it moving, keep it pushing. Oregon D. I'm over it, dog. I'm over it, dog. When I was in middle school, I loved neon green too, but we've got to get past it at some point, right? We can't just say our gimmick is having 1,000 uniforms and that's what it is, Oregon, okay? I can't. I'm done, dog. Just stick to some uniforms, stick to something, start winning some more games. And like, oh, well, they've been good the last few years. They've been good. They've always been good. They've always been decent. They've always been sometimes sometimes. Can they do something? Look, they'll be a playoff team. They're gonna be a talented team. I'm just tired of it, man. Shout out to DeAnthony Thomas. Shout out to Marcus Mariota. Shout out to, Oregon was cool to like. Now I want them to do something great. But more importantly, in Dynasty, dude, do you want to be shifting through that many uniforms? It's a liability how many uniforms they have, and they're going to have. It's ridiculous. Penn State, I mean, they have an elite track record with NFL players, amazingly historic. They have 2 uniforms. I don't know what to tell you, dog. There's too much history, too many things going on right there. Why, as someone who's playing Dynasty, are you choosing Penn State? I have no idea, big dog. Purdue. That's going to be an A tier, dog. Purdue, besides old Drew Brees, and I hope I'm not getting that wrong. Golly, I know he played for some gold team. I probably got it wrong. But besides Drew Brees, I'm just going with it. Don't know too much about the old Boilermakers, but I like the black and the gold. They've got some decent unis. They've got a decent story. You can make them shake. You can make them shimmy. I feel like you can write a lot of different passes. Look, I don't know a lot about Purdue. The Purdue fans are gonna come in here talking about, hey, dog, we really get down like that back in 1957. And I guess, dog, I like the black and gold. So let's put them A. I don't know about them. You don't know about them. So let's throw them in there. Rutgers. Gonna be a B tier. Rutgers money line, dog. What are we talking about? Pick them in your dynasty for your third playthrough. Yeah, go ahead and pick the Scarlet Knights, dog. Yeah, this is not my first, but hey, Rutgers money line. What are we talking about? UCLA. You know what? Both of these. Why? Unless you're going to take them and send them back to the Pac-2, both of these at the same time, there's no reason to be using neither of these underachievers out there lollygagging. They just been lollygagging in the Pac-12, letting Oregon win it, letting Utah win it, letting BYU try to nip at it. USC and UCLA was nothing. I mean, obviously back then in the 05s and the 90s or whatever, but these modern days ain't been good for the twin sisters out there in California. The quote unquote blue blood standards. I know UCLA is more of a blue blood in basketball, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. No, it's a big no for me, dog. USC can suck a corn cob. UCLA, ugh. Josh Rosen, ugh. Washington, sorry about it, boys, but again, recent success. This isn't Washington's first dance in the college playoffs. In the 14 playoff, they've had multiple visits. So, I mean, the Huskies are a great program, right? Great uniforms. It's just too boring. Use them in head-to-head. Use them in online head-to-head. Awesome. The offense is probably going to be great. They're probably reloading with more high-ass wide receivers out there. It's Washington. Wisconsin. Again, too much history, too much situations going right there. Not a lot of uniforms. I'm not sold on it. Here's the tier. If you need to pick a dynasty team and you're stuck on the Big Ten, Michigan State is your choice. They've got the best uniforms. They've got the most tumultuous pass. They've got the most funniest things that have happened to them. They've got history. They have good things. They've got great throwbacks. They've got a whole situation, a beautiful blank slate for you to come in there, pause, and take over what you want to do. Okay, so if you're looking for a Big Ten team in the Dynasty, you figured it out. It's goddamn Michigan State. You leave a like on this video if you like it, dislike on this video if you like it. What team is your rest tier? What team would you pick if you were picking in the Big Ten? Let me know down below.